What's going on, guys? So tonight actually, this is a late upload, but today we're reacting to one of the best business Pokemon YouTubers, and he's actually stepped out of his comfort zone and done like reaction videos as well. So today we're gonna be reacting to a reaction of Brian from pokene, talking about how Pokemon investing is irresponsible. So let's get to this video.
That's a classic YouTube dramatic entry right there, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're talking about a very important topic. This is not clickbait, but I'm gonna say something that sounds like a very hot take. There is no money in Pokemon cards. It is a complete money trap. And I'm not saying that tongue-in-cheek, I'm not being sarcastic. There are very, very, very few and selective times where anyone can make money in Pokemon cards. Now, I, of course, am loaded. I say it in every single intro to the video, but 99%.
And he's joking, guys. He gets so much hate when he's super sarcastic about him being loaded. I'm sure he does great. He talks about his YouTube ad revenue, which is insane as well. So he's doing well for himself, and hats off to Brian. But just he's like the Nostalgianomics, where he gets so much hate for being sarcastic. Except I think Brian does it in a little more tasteful way. But
need to look at Pokemon cards as a hobby and nothing else. As a toy, as everyone says, and nothing else. Because right now people are destroying their marriages, they're destroying their kids' college funds, they're destroying their future because of Pokemon cards. It is an addiction.
Yes, there is some money to be made, and I always didn't understand Pokemon scalpers or people, resellers even, like, you're gonna wait all day in line for a pair of shoes, for some Pokemon cards, to then flip it for a $50 profit when you waited literally 3+ hours for product. It never made any sense to me. So even with all the scalping and all the product just going to the moon, as they say, I still didn't understand. I still understand where these profits were coming. I'm sure if you do it like in volume, but for the most part, for most people, probably 90% of people, 9 out of 10 people, aren't going to make money when it comes to Pokemon cards. If you guys haven't watched my video talking about the gentleman he's kind of discussing, link that video right around there. But it's the crazy financial decisions that people are making in the Pokemon bull run. Seeing all the people like Brian, no shots at Brian, but seeing the people like Brian and Nostalgianomics making actual money, and other Pokemon YouTubers making actual money, or they say they do. The optics of it is that they make some money. So people want to get in it, think it's a quick way to make a buck. It's the same thing in cryptocurrency. That's where I make a lot of my money. Daily is trading crypto. And a lot of people think that it's a get-rich-quick scheme. And a lot of people do, the 1 out of 1,000, but for the rest of the people, they get wrecked. And Brian, I'm sure, is going to go into how people get wrecked.
We've all seen the video. People are reacting to this guy that's basically saying he's done with Pokemon. He lost a bunch of money, like $20,000, and he's just given up. And thank freaking God, because $20,000 is chump change compared to the amount of money that people are losing overall. We've seen videos of people going on freaking Caleb Hammer's channel. There was someone that went on a Ramsey's show.
And spending $20,000 in Pokemon, I know that sounds like super crazy to people, but it really isn't. I can totally see someone becoming new in the hobby and just going out to the LGS, getting, 5, 10 booster boxes, open them up, and go to their nearest Walmarts and also, the thousands, the $20 bill is now the new $100 bill. So I could see a $20,000, party, $20,000 spend on maybe in a month. A lot of people in the comment section were like, "Oh, how did you not see it coming?" When you're in that mode, and that's back there. I went down a crazy Pokemon rabbit hole when I first got back into the hobby. Not a $20,000 spend, but probably around $5K. A lot of my plays were investments, and I did sell off a lot of my Sword and Shield positions, but I still have at least one or two for my collection, and that's what I'm going to hold on for the rest of hopefully my life. I never have to rebuy this stuff, but it's the newcomers that have no plan with their dollar, are having so much supposed fun opening Pokemon cards, collecting Pokemon cards, collecting. That's my favorite word when it comes to new people in the hobby, because they don't want to collect. They actually just want to make money. And Brian's gonna.
There's already been people in the limelight talking about how their marriage or their freaking house mortgage is at risk here. And that's just the stories we hear. So today we're going to have a very honest discussion about the complete money pit that Pokemon cards are. Because all of the people in my position, a lot of the people in my position don't necessarily hyper shill Pokemon cards, but they make it seem a little more profitable than it really is. And the funny thing is, this video, this topic is going to be flagged as gatekeeping by people, because I'm encouraging people not to enter the Pokemon card hobby where I make money having people enter that. I don't know how it's going to be perceived that way, but somehow this is going to be called gatekeepy, while all my other videos are called hypey shilly videos. So I don't know what y'all need from me to be happy, but we're just gonna pretend that y'all.
That's the thing. Pokemon, like the hobby right now, nobody's happy for the most part. If you're investing too much, people are pissed. If you're collecting too much, people are pissed. If you're collecting Korean cards, people are pissed. If you're collecting Chinese cards, talk about Chinese cards, people are pissed. If I make reaction videos, people are pissed. What I've learned about the Pokemon collective, the Pokemon hobby, is that nobody is actually happy. Everybody wants you to collect like they are collecting, or invest like they are investing. And if you have any opinion that doesn't fall in line with how they feel, you are going to hear the backlash. And maybe I'm speaking from a content creator standpoint, but I definitely totally agree with what Brian is saying.
So let's talk about booster boxes. There's pretty much not a single instance where you're going to make money buying a booster box and opening it. In fact, it's almost guaranteed that any booster box you open, even if you get a card that looks like a PSA 10, there is a minuscule chance you will make a dime on that booster box. And if you don't believe...
And that's what I was doing in the beginning of the channel. I was opening one booster box per set, and I was getting all of it below MSRP. So once we hit like the sleepy lull period, I always talk about the Pokemon bear market. It is okay to open some booster boxes, because it's just fun. You know that you're it's going to spend $100. You're going to eat the cost. Especially if you're a content creator, you kind of put your face out there. You can turn that into shorts. You can turn that into ad revenue. But for the most part, for most people that want to open booster boxes to
believe me, let's take
money,
a look at the TCG player that everyone always talks about in these investing videos. This website here is called tcgplayer.com. It is the crutch for 99% of PokeTubers, like my crutch is pokebeach.com. And we're looking at the top pulls of each of the most recent sets. This is Destined Rivals. A booster box on the free market's about $250, $260. And you can see the best card in the set raw is at $300. The second best card is already below the market price of the...
Remember, Destined Rivals was the set that everyone thought was going to be the next Evolving Skies. Everyone was so hyper bullish on the set, and to see where it's at now, I hate to say I told you guys, but you can rewind to some of my old videos before Destined Rivals, a month out from Destined Rivals, or a month from this point, I'm sorry. I called it. I was like, there's this is not what people wanted. On the other hand, I loved it. I'm still loving it. I'm loving Japanese. I'm collecting all the singles, and I think it's, in my top 5, but it's not what people wanted. We don't get the dark Pokemon that's gonna soon to come. People don't like the trainers. I'm a trainer collector, so I saw this one coming.
Now, yes, Timmies, if you buy one box of Destined Rivals and you pull the Team Rocket's Mewtwo, yeah, you're profitable. But you still have to sell the card to make profit, and if you sell this card on eBay, for example, they're going to take 13%, which is what, like $35 or something? Wow, pretty close. $38.74.
I do have a when to sell video coming up this next week, but excellent point by Brian. All these people that are investors, they say, buy the single or flip, how to flip this into a PSA, how to flip your PSA slabs on eBay. Nobody is doing this. It is such a small percentage. Everyone is cosplaying as Pokemon investors and flippers and sellers and stores. It's just a giant cosplay in the bull market, especially on the Pokemon YouTube side. Not gonna call out anybody, but all these fees add up. Unless you do it like myself and like to flip at card shows or sell on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace, which I highly suggest that you guys do. Always meet up in a safe place. Don't line up or don't meet in like a back alley somewhere, but there is other ways to do it, but it's not talked about enough.
And that brings you down to 260 and even less than that when it counts to shipping and if you want to do like a signature required. So even the best card in Destined Rivals, you already lost money. Now let's take a look at Prismatic Evolution. Let's play devil's advocate here. This box is $100 in ETB. It's like 10-ish bucks a pack depending on what product you're looking at. And as you can see, yeah, there are a few exceptions here. You can pull some good stuff out of a Prismatic Evolution's ETB. But the chances of you getting any of these top 5 cards are extremely limited. When it comes to a set as big as Prismatic Evolutions, I mean, look at it. These are all secret rares. So a secret rare card means you're going to get maybe 2, maybe 3 in a booster box. I don't know. I'm a Japanese guy, so it's 1 secret rare per booster box. But there are a lot of them. And, we pulled secret rares out of the Japanese booster box the other.
I have a friend that is opening up Prismatic Evolutions like an absolute madman, or an acquaintance, sorry. But either he's just getting lucky, but the pull rates aren't as bad as what people are saying, especially if you're trying to make money or trying to get these PSA 10s out of these boxes. It is tough. It is really tough to find product. And is it worth the stress? Is it worth the credit card bill at the end of the month to try to grab some of these cards? I would love someone to make a video talking about the differences or the pros and cons of picking up some of these singles, kind of scanning it yourself. If you're a grader, I'm sure you have your checklist, instead of trying to just pull these out of a box, ETB or your booster bundles, etc. I wonder.
The other day we had a stream and 2 of the boxes had identical SRs, because that's how statistics work sometimes. Sometimes you pull the same SR, which means that you can open a ETB's a Prismatic and get the Raging Bolt EX card 2 times, 3 times in a row. You might get the Iron Valiant for $16. You might be super unlucky and get Sandy Shocks for $11. The chances of you opening a $100 ETB of Prismatic and pulling anything worth more than that ETB are slim to none. You have a better chance of winning Trucks and Bucks lottery tickets. Get that Ford F-150, baby. Journey Together, great example of a horrible investment if you're opening packs to make money. We've got $130 is the best card you can find, and then 47, 70, 57.
And this absolutely surprised the hell out of me. I knew, and again I called it, that the English market absolutely does not care about Pokemon trainers and their Pokemon. I remember when Journey Together, the battle partners, the battle partners, not like the Japanese set, but when they were they're showcased at, what was it, Worlds in Hawaii, and people were like celebrating all crazy, and I'm like, that's fake. no one cares about, the English market doesn't give 2 shits about Lily's Clefairy or Hopzashin or Iono and her belly ball. It's all fake. The English Pokemon trainer craze was a one-time. We're probably gonna see it again 2-3 times, but it comes every 4-8 years, something like that. And I knew it was all horseshit. I knew that these cards would eventually get here. Once I saw the Lewis Clefairy sitting at like $130, I was like, well, that's pretty much where it should be, because people don't really care about trainers like that. It's not the Japanese market. And for a set that is still holding pretty decent value as far as like the booster box value, it's it was one that did not surprise me whatsoever, but for some reason it surprised half of Pokemon YouTube.
This is a $200 box, ladies and gentlemen. And no one gives a shit about the singles. Surging Sparks, obviously we had that $225 Pikachu, the one that was going to send your wallets to the moon. Well, guess what? Surging Sparks cost $225. So again, after that 13.
And don't forget about the people that told you guys to be buying Surging Sparks at those crazy inflated prices. When you look at the singles, to ask yourself, who, if you're an investor, if you're a collector, let's just take one by one. If you're an investor, who the hell is going to want to open this booster box 5 to 10 years from now, right? Streamers, etc., PokeTubers, whatever. And then when you go to the collection side, ask yourself, do I want to open some Surging Sparks in 5 to 10 years? If the answer is no, just keep the thing sealed and collect it for the outside booster box art. If that's what you're going for, just do that. And if you find yourself in any other place of or any space between the three I just named, these topics or subjects that I just named, just stay away. There's no point. It's okay to just step back and be okay from not participating in this set. I opened maybe 2 boxes of Super Electric Breaker and like a crap ton of Paradise Dragona, and that was pretty much it. I was like, cool, that was fun. Walked away, and it is what it is. A lot of people feel like they just need to have everything. They need to have and be participating the entire time until we get to Gen 10. It's not the case.
15% fee plus shipping. You lost money pulling the greatest card in the set. Now, yes, you can grade your Pikachu and hope for a PSA 10, but the chance of you, a novice collector, knowing to send that into PSA with a guarantee of a 10 are again slim to none. Even if it deserves a 10, the people at PSA are bigger dumbasses than the people at CGC sometimes, and you might get a PSA 9, and if you get a PSA 9, it's worth less than the raw price on 99% of cards.
So what he's saying about grading is absolutely correct. More than likely, you're not going to get 10s, right? But there is plays in grading. If you look at all of these cards, shout out to my boy Jodo Jake. He turned my mind into looking for plays, grading plays. Look at some of these cards, try to take your shots at some of these smaller cards and see what has potential. Like the Skarmory has potential. The Latios probably has potential. I would even say that Pikachu EX probably has some potential that you could grab a crap ton of these at $20, $5, $10, grade some of them, hold them for the long term, and see what they do. Little lottery tickets here and there. It's way more feasible to do that than to take your shot at the Pikachu EX, the Terra version, the Booty Chew. I just don't know really if that card is ever going to do what Pokemon YouTube is suggesting that's going to do. I cannot see it. The Milotic is beautiful for the $100 mark, but still I think it's overinflated.
So even if you're this close, you lost money grading the card, not only in market value, but also in the price it took to grade the card, because that's like a $25 fee when it comes down to the grading fee, the shipping, and all that good stuff. Also, you're waiting like 2 months half the time, where the raw market price has already dropped 20 to 30 to 40%, depending on the set. So as you can see here, this is not a Magic the Gathering set from 2021 or whatever, when Rudy and RNG Games was opening Magic boxes and actually making money on singles. No, this is Pokemon, guys. You don't do that in Pokemon. There is
And Pokemon comes in waves, right? And I preach this all the time in my How to Survive Scarlet and Violet era. I made a couple of those videos, but you have to roll with the punches, and you have to get what give what Pokemon or take what Pokemon is giving you. For example, in the beginning of the Scarlet and Violet era, I had so much fun opening Pokemon cards, chasing certain cards, and because everything was so cheap, everything was below MSRP. The economy was doing better. I mean, right now we're like, oh my gosh, the wars right now are crazy. I'm recording this on Saturday night. The dollar is crashing, so everything is getting more expensive, and you can see and hear people penny pinching. And the first thing that's gonna go is collectibles. And when people pull back their dollar and decide to not spend and not open as many Pokemon cards, this is where assets. Pokemon is an asset. Pokemon cards are assets. Sealed Pokemon products are assets, are investments. They will go up. And that's why we're seeing this crazy Pokemon bull run. I think a lot of people are parking a lot of money into Pokemon cards right now. But as he was saying, it's not a good investment. It's not a good... Unless you have the money, it's not a good time to be opening Pokemon cards. There is a time. There is certain times to be buying singles. I believe right now is a really good time to buy singles in both English and Japanese. It's not a real good time to be opening stuff. So you have to, like I said, take what Pokemon gives you at the time. Things are going to get better. A product is going to be more available. And if you can buy stuff at MSRP, which is so funny because for so long, buying stuff at MSRP was like pretty expensive. I remember like seeing an ETB. I was like, I'm not paying $50, $55 for an ETB. I can get it online for $30. And now it's, holy, do I miss those times?
No money, and there has not been any money in opening booster boxes for packs for individual cards. There has never been money in that. As long as I've been in business, it's not a thing. And, I think a lot of new collectors need to hear this because, again, a lot of my content is tailored towards business.
Yeah, so the rest of this video, he talks about some stuff that doesn't talk about Pokemon and investing. Notable ideas to take away from this, notable points to take away from this is, like I said, when Pokemon gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And when the market tells you to slow down, you have to slow down. Right now, in the English Pokemon bull market, things are crazy. Things are getting better, but it's still time for most of us. I'm speaking for the average novice Pokemon collector and investor. It's just time to take a little bit of a backseat, kind of wait this out and get better entries for your collection and investments. And if you still want to participate in the Pokemon market right now, I just highly recommend you guys get those really cheap IRs or ARs, whatever language you're in. And look at vintage. Look at cards that are maybe lightly played, moderately played. There's still plays out there if you want to invest, you want to grade, if you just want to collect. You're still gonna find some booster packs out there at MSRP. Go do a little treasure hunt with your friends. Grab 4 of your friends if you're in your 20s, and go drive around to some Targets. Maybe you might find a pack or two. Like, I don't know, make content about it. Have fun. Enjoy your day. Get some food, go touch grass. There's so many ways to still participate in this Pokemon market and to not be irresponsible, to not open, don't lose your husband or wife over Pokemon cards and max out a credit card. It's in these Pokemon bull market where the content comes out so often of people making money and are pulling these big cards, they're big chase cards that everyone supposedly wants for the time. It's funny that people already forgot about, Destined Rivals. People have already forgotten, thrown away Journey Together and Battle Partners, and it just changes so quick. And I have to ask yourself every single set, when new sets come out, ask yourself, do I really want that card? Can I sleep at night knowing if that card, didn't exist in my collection for the next year, maybe 2 years? I've outweighted this market so many times and picked up so many of my favorite e-reader cards, so many of my favorite Sword and Shield alternate arts in different languages. I'm like, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down. These prices are crazy right now. I know that Japanese is hot right now. It's gonna come down. And guess what? I was right. Scooped up a lot of my favorite cards at a very discounted rate. If you guys think that this stuff is just going to go up and up and up, and you think that the best take right now is that the discussion around the 30th anniversary. Everyone's like, it's only up from here until the 30th anniversary. And I think it's far from the truth. Nobody knows. Just nobody knows what's going to happen. We see what happened to 25th anniversary. It can just be another reprint style set of famous cards, popular cards in all of Pokemon. We could just see that. Or they could do something original. We don't know. We literally don't know. It's real goofy. It's real whack to just call people out for their takes on something that's so far down the road. It's just, I think it's kind of lame, but that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Let me know if you guys like these reaction videos. Shout out to Brian for pokene. I'm going to leave this video linked in the comment section or description down below. Till next time, peace out.